Good morning and happy Sunday, May 27, wherever you are around the globe. Hope you're having a cracker of a day. I have to first and foremost say I haven't had any sleep since Friday, 6 a.m. It's now 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, so I do apologise for anything that may seem a little off. I'll launch straight into a quick wrap of the Super Rugby for the weekend and Friday night's Chiefs-Bulls game. What a cracker it was. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it all live as I was out for birthday celebrations, but by all accounts, it was an absolute ripper. The Chiefs are having a cracking year and the Bulls are just doing the same thing over and over. Kudos to them. I generally slag the Bulls for their performances while they're on tour, but they've had a brilliant one this year, even in the pink. And they are the real deal this year. I'm half convinced that the Friday night game was the preview of what's going to wind up being the Super 15 final. Chiefs may have been victorious this time, but geez, I don't know what the repeat would show. Second game for the round was, of course, the Canes versus the Rebels, and let's just say not as much on that game. It was quite depressing for me, as you can imagine. Not exactly how I wanted things to go, but the Canes were absolutely clinical in their demolition of the Rebels. 66-24, I believe, was the final score. Rebels with a hell of a lot of injury worries. We're dropping left, right and centre. It's quite concerning, really, but hope everyone pulls up okay. I haven't heard of the seriousness of any of the injuries today, but we'll keep the finger on the pulse to see what we can find out. Second game was, of course, the Blues versus the Landers, and geez, the Blues are having one hell of a season to forget. They'd be looking forward to 2013 already. The Highlanders, on the other hand, are really beginning to push for that final spot at the top of the log with the conference system, and good luck to them. They're causing a bit of a stir in the New Zealand Conference, and it's great to see. When coming away, I think the score in the end was 27-20, so good luck to them. I really admire the Highlanders rugby. They're doing a great job, particularly with the off-season issues that they had at the start of the year with the Otago Rugby Club finances, but they've kept all of that aside. It hasn't affected them, thank heavens, but they're doing a great job. Next game yesterday was, of course, the Brumbies versus the Reds, the top of the card clash in the Australian Conference, which saw the Reds win by a single point in a low-scoring affair. The Brumbies are doing a great job this year. Drake White has completely revolutionised that side. Ewan's had a lot to deal with injury-wise as head coach of the Reds, and it's great to see Quade Cooper back on the pitch after his devastating knee injury in the World Cup last year. We've got to keep the fly halves happening in Australia because we don't have a lot of stock left at the moment. They're dropping left, right and centre. It's good to see newbies are getting blooded for both teams. And Zach Holmes, I feel so sorry for you yesterday with that penalty, buddy, but keep on keeping on. You're doing a great job. I wrapped you up earlier on in the year and you haven't let me down yet. The Reds, I'm sure, will have quite a few names in the Wallabies training squad names later today. I think they're naming 39 or 40, so it'll be interesting to see who gets a gig there. But great to see. Freezing cold in Canberra last night. Keep on going, though, boys. You're doing yourselves proud. The Force versus the Lions was the next game from Perth last night. Bottom of the table clash. As to be expected, quite dull, quite low scoring. Skill level was all over the place. And as for CJ Vanderland, I'm not quite sure what come through his head when he decided it was pertinent to bite somebody, but we'll see what happens with the SANZAAR judiciary. He has been cited, of course, no surprises there. The Lions are just having a shocker on and off the pitch at the moment. Their place is far from secure for next season. In fact, I think it's all but confirmed they won't be participating in the SANZAAR Super Rugby Conference next year, which is pretty disappointing. I just can't understand how a team can go from Curry Cup champions to cellar dwellers in this Super Rugby within a space of a few months, but it just goes to show that all teams have been decimated with injuries this year. The Lions are far from excused with that one. They've had more than their fair share of injuries, and unfortunately their finances and, from what I can gather, a few other bits and pieces just aren't falling into place for them, and they'll be out of the door at the end of the year. It's just a sad time for the Jozzy boys. As for the Cheetahs versus the Waratahs in Bloemfontein last night, an absolute cracker of a match, seeing the Cheetahs win by a single point over the Tars. Sorrel Pretorius going back to his old stomping ground. Unfortunately, he was on the pine for a lot longer than what I would like to have seen. I quite like the man. I think he's a great player at scrum half. The Cheetahs, though, my God, those men are amazing. I've never seen a team play with as much heart as they do week in and week out. It's great to see. I don't know of anyone that actually dislikes the Cheetahs. They seem to be everyone's second favourite side, which is fantastic for them. Strauss is doing an absolute blinder of a job leading that side, and if he isn't already in contention for Springbok hooker, which will leave me quite upset, as you can imagine, he damn well should be. He's just doing a great job. He's a fantastic leader on and off the pitch for them. There's not a lot, I don't know of anyone that can really say a lot of bad things about the Cheetahs this season. They have their ups and downs. They had a few holes in defence last night, but it didn't matter. They still managed to hold on. They play exciting rugby week in and week out, whether they win, lose or draw. And it's great to see. Heinrich Brousseau is just, I don't know where the hell they breed them down there, what they feed them, but geez, pretty much a Free State boys down there. They just keep on. They're amazing competitors, play with great spirit, great heart, never say die. It's an attitude we all love. The last game of the round, of course, was the absolute boil over Sharks versus Stormers game, which saw the Sharks defeat the Stormers and surprisingly cut through the normally tight Stormers defence. The Stormers, of course, are decimated with a bit of injury themselves, and I think it's something that SANZAAR are going to have to start looking at, the length of the Super Rugby season when you combine in the winter tours, the Rugby Championship, and particularly for South Africa, the Currie Cup at the end of all of that. We don't want to see anyone's career cut short, of course, with injury, and we're getting to a point now where it's almost too much rugby for the boys. But the Sharks were fantastic last night. It was great to see them win. Keegan Daniel, that man is just amazing. He's just so cool under pressure, fantastic to see on and off the pitch, does a great job. Whoever organised the halftime interviews from Durban last night, thank you so much. Bismarck Duplessis interview at halftime on my birthday was the best present I could possibly ask for from the Republic, short of him actually being in Australia. But again, fantastic. Beast back in his Sharks colours is awesome to see. It's great to have him back on a pitch. The Springbok front row working for the Sharks is doing a great job. Fantastic. So happy. Of course, I was very tired after I think it finished at about 5 a.m. our time, but, you know, for the love of the game, I do have to rush out the door, but very quick shout out to two Twitter fans, two Twitter handles that I really have to plug. First one, of course, is supersportswomen.com.au, Twitter handle SSW_AU. The girls and guys are doing a great job covering female sports around the globe. We don't get enough exposure as female athletes throughout Australia. Sponsorship, media coverage. We deserve as much as the boys get, and we get something like 9% of what they do. So get behind them. They do a great job. Larissa, I'm very proud of you and Erin and everyone that's associated. You do a fantastic job, and I'm thrilled to be a part of that. Second shout out, of course, goes to the boys from Cape Town from Blokes on the Couch, Twitter handle Blokes on the Couch. On Thursdays, Cape Town Radio 2VO, I believe it is, 5 p.m. It's 1 a.m. our time on Friday. Anyone that can keep me awake at 1 a.m. laughing like a bloody crook hyena, I don't know, do a fantastic job, very entertaining, know a lot about their sport. They do a great job, so get behind them as well. Just one thing, boys, let's just clarify for my father who panicked the first time he heard the podcast the podcast from you boys. I'm not actually pregnant. It was an in-joke. Dad, I'm cool, alright, it's all fine. They don't know something that you don't know. It's all good. That's a run out the door. Just a very quick thank you to everyone who's wished me a happy birthday today. It's so very much appreciated. It means the world to me. Shout out to James, who also has a birthday on May 27. We're May 27 babies. It's so fantastic. But you guys, you mean the world. The well wishes that I've had from all over the globe, it means so much to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means the world. Wherever you are in the world right now, whatever the time of day is, I hope you have an absolute stunning weekend. Make it count, people. Make it count. Have a great one. See you next week. Bye.